pause whatever you're working on immediately, because what I'm about to share will fundamentally change your perspective on everything unfolding in your world right now. I realize that might sound over the top, but the spiritual current surrounding you at this moment is completely off the charts. It's wild. Right now, two separate individuals, two totally distinct people, are bringing up your name at the exact same moment, completely unaware of each other. Neither of them has any clue that the other is doing the same. Spirit is practically shouting this message to me. The intensity of what I'm picking up is so strong that you truly need to hear it before this day is over. This shift in energy is far more powerful than anything I've sensed in months. As I map out this atmosphere, I see two massive forces literally colliding, both battling for access to your energy, your focus, your vibe, and your core essence. Honestly, here is the part that will truly shock you. You likely believe you've already figured out who these two people are. Specific names are probably popping into your mind right now. However, the spiritual realm is making it crystal clear that your guesses are wrong. They aren't even remotely close. Allow me to explain everything in detail. What is taking place on a spiritual plane is building an almost overwhelming tension in the atmosphere surrounding you. Spirit is validating that all of those intangible thoughts and daydreams are now taking shape. These emotions are transforming into something tangible and real. They are solidifying into concrete reality. People are becoming deeply serious about their feelings toward you, and they are openly speaking about it. The first individual is someone who has quietly observed your growth from afar. This person witnessed you make the conscious decision to put yourself first. They saw you turn your back on situations and people that were beneath you. They watched your journey of healing unfold. The moment you stepped into your true self-worth, something fundamentally altered within them, transforming you into their highest aspiration. You suddenly seemed out of reach and highly desirable. That exact realization is what is driving their intense passion to win you over right now. They desire your exclusive attention and have zero intention of sharing you with anyone else. Absolutely not. This is a high-caliber individual who is accustomed to obtaining whatever they set their sights on. Yet when it comes to you, they feel completely disarmed and powerless, which is driving them out of their mind. They have been attempting to orchestrate a chance encounter because deep down, the distance between you terrifies them. The thought of you moving on and building a life without them fills them with dread. From a spiritual standpoint, I see them constantly looking for excuses to be near you or cross paths with you, though things aren't unfolding as smoothly as they hoped. Consequently, they remain observant, waiting for the right moment and competing fiercely with an intensity that borders on obsession. They genuinely care about your safety and don't want harm to touch you. But above all, they cannot endure the thought of someone else winning your heart. Now, here comes the ultimate revelation that Spirit is shining a heavy light on. The second individual. This second person comes directly from your history. I realize people say that all the time, but this situation is uniquely different. This is someone who genuinely believed they had moved forward with their life. They were focused on their own path and living independently. Suddenly, they experienced what can only be described as a spiritual shift or glitch. Something in their environment flipped, pulling their mind straight back to you. The power of your presence and vibe is so potent that it acts like a magnetic pull, drawing them back. Try as they might, they simply cannot fight or break free from it. This is where the situation becomes particularly dramatic. They are deeply unsettled by the presence of the other person and refuse to lose you to a rival. An active conflict is taking place between these two forces, and both individuals are fully conscious of it. It's crucial to understand that this second person isn't returning with humble apologies. They aren't interested in sugarcoating their intentions or easing back into your life gently. They are stepping forward simply because the thought of someone else claiming you is unbearable to them. They are staying awake at night, agonizing over how the world is beginning to recognize your brilliance. Your light is radiating so brightly that others are taking notice, making them realize they might have blown their opportunity, which eats away at them. They are entirely prepared to fight for your place in their life. They intend to stake a claim on what they view as their connection, and they won't retreat without a fight. The spiritual dynamic between these two reveals that one is motivated primarily by pride and ego, while the other is driven by a far profounder soul-level connection. The first is pursuing you out of a desire for what seems unattainable, whereas the second is acting because they recognize your true value and can no longer ignore it. Within the spiritual domain, these two opposing energies are actively clashing and waging war. They are in direct conflict. You may even be physically sensing the strain and heat of this cosmic clash within yourself. Have you noticed an inexplicable sense of urgency or heaviness recently, as if the atmosphere altered without a clear explanation? That sensation is the direct result of this fierce tug-of-war over your focus, your affection, and your valuable energy. The universe is currently bringing a critical truth to light. It is exposing who is genuinely authentic and who is merely trifling with your emotions. Looking closer at the first individual, the one observing you quietly, they have been attempting to dig up private details about your life. They crave complete access to your world and want to know every detail. Nevertheless, hidden truths are beginning to surface despite their efforts to conceal their motives. Now let me share what I am picking up regarding the conversations both of them are having about you. Both individuals fully acknowledge the significant hardships you have endured. They are aware of the massive life changes, painful endings, heavy losses, and intense pressure you've faced. Challenges that would have crushed most people. Yet, instead of letting those trials break you, you allowed them to catalyze a powerful personal transformation. They both expressed that while you didn't deserve those hardships, the resilience and grace you displayed were nothing short of extraordinary. That remarkable inner strength is precisely why both of them are so eager to compete for you right now. It is what fuels their desperation to be part of your life. They constantly discuss your healing journey and marvel at how radiant you appear today. Rather than extinguishing your spark, the adversity and negativity from others only caused your light to burn brighter, leaving them completely awestruck. One of them in particular holds a deep sense of respect and awe toward you. Their perception of you carries a sacred quality, as though your presence completely altered their worldview. Prior to meeting you, they viewed existence through a limited lens, but knowing you has permanently broadened their awareness. You introduced them to deeper concepts of spirituality and awakened a dormant part of their consciousness. Now, driven by this awakening, they are striving to outshine their competitor, to prove they are worthy of your partnership. Intriguingly, both individuals recall the smallest details about you, cherishing every single word, action, and shared memory. Thinking about you causes a physical reaction in them, perhaps even making them blush with intense emotion. They feel flustered because the things they express to others about you would make them feel vulnerable if you ever overheard them. These aren't negative remarks, but rather intimate, passionate admissions that leave them feeling completely exposed. They shared these feelings as ammunition in their conflict, striving to demonstrate who understands you best and who truly belongs by your side. They speak endlessly about your beauty, your magnetic charisma, your uniqueness, and how deeply your absence affects them. They express a desperate yearning to communicate with you, and frequently play out vivid scenarios of what intimacy and closeness with you would feel like. Make no mistake, these aren't light-hearted comments. This is a serious, deeply emotional battle of hearts. It is an intense rivalry where both parties are prepared to do whatever it takes to win your affection. The depth of these discussions goes far beyond what you might imagine. Even when you are apart, you remain constantly on their minds. The sound of your name, or a passing glance reminiscent of you, immediately triggers thoughts of your bond. They search for cosmic signs connecting them to you, replaying past events while daydreaming about future possibilities. In their eyes, knowing you has elevated you to a prized place worth striving for. While there is a sense of destiny attached to this dynamic, it is heavily overshadowed by intense competition, as both feel entitled to your heart. Specifically, one of these individuals has been reflecting deeply on your well-being, perhaps feeling anxious about your current state. They intuitively sense the heavy burdens you carry and feel an overwhelming desire to step in, reach out, and alleviate your stress. They possess an intense protective instinct toward you. The thought of you bearing life's difficulties single-handedly bothers them, and they desperately want to serve as your sanctuary when life gets overwhelming. They long for a genuine, permanent position in your world, aspiring to be the single most significant partner in your life. That ultimate prize is the true driving force behind this fierce competition. They openly boast about your incredible fortitude to others, expressing awe at how you manage to persevere through tough circumstances. They admire your ability to manage countless responsibilities without falling apart, continuing to push forward regardless of the obstacles. They are enchanted by your brilliant mind, your artistic flair, your individuality, and the captivating aura that naturally attracts others to you. Crucially, they share these compliments almost boastfully, as if trying to justify to everyone why you belong with them. Whether it's your artistic talents, your singing, or the quality of your voice, no detail escapes their attention, and they eagerly recount your gifts to anyone listening. They find your expressive communication style utterly fascinating and hold a profound admiration for who you are. However, this deep respect often causes them to overthink their approach, filling them with anxiety over saying the wrong thing or misframing their thoughts. They are determined to present their best self, to secure your high opinion, and avoid making a poor impression. Their greatest fear is that their competitor will step up first, say the right words, and persuade you to choose them instead. That very apprehension speaks volumes about the immense influence you hold over them. People rarely agonize over their choice of words, unless they are desperate to make a lasting impression on someone they care for immensely. This person craves your focus, desperately wanting to earn your approval and become someone you look up to. They are acutely aware that another candidate is vying for the exact same place in your heart, leaving them feeling the immense weight of this rivalry. The recurring theme in their discussions is your composure during difficult times. They recognize the immense load you carry and remain deeply impressed by your historical resilience and current strength. Their attitude toward you is defined by pure wonder and adoration for your ability to remain grounded and steady amidst turmoil. You never surrender, always finding a path forward, and both are eager to earn the privilege of standing beside you as your partner. They long to be your support system as you enter the next phase of your life. Spirit emphasizes that you underestimate your own radiance and the profound influence your love carries. Their dialogue isn't petty gossip or malicious chatter. Rather, they hold you in the highest esteem. They proudly proclaim your greatness and their deep affection to anyone within earshot. Wildly enough, they are expressing these exact feelings directly to one another, fully aware that they are contending for the exact same prize. You. Here is the core truth you must grasp. Your bond with one of these individuals transcends time. Physical distance or long periods without contact cannot diminish or erode this tie. The spiritual link remains entirely intact. Even during prolonged silence, thoughts of you bring them to tears because of how intensely they yearn for your presence. One of them feels your connection deeply, yet attempts to maintain a calm facade despite being completely overwhelmed with awe. Meanwhile, the second individual is equally captivated and determined to win your heart. Pay close attention to this. This person harbors profound love for you and makes no secret of it when confronting their rival. Words aren't even necessary, as their protective stance, possessiveness, and adoration make their devotion blatantly clear. Both candidates are openly displaying their devotion, engaging in a fierce battle to convince you that they are the one worthy of your choice. This marks your personal renaissance. You are emerging transformed from the remnants of past heartbreaks. You have stepped into a radiant state of being that dazzles them both, shielded by divine intervention from past deceit. They recognize that your past experiences with manipulative and harmful people have yielded valuable spiritual wisdom. Both of them take immense pride in your resilience, each contending for the privilege of honoring your victory. They observe your progress attentively, not out of intrusion, but as devoted supporters cheering you on. From a respectful distance, they take comfort in seeing you progress while those who mistreated you fade